is Tuesday, 12th March 2024. Welcome to THG News Today with Mervyn Henley. This is the day that the Lord hath made, and we all must rejoice and be glad in it. The news, of course, is brought to you the kind compliments of Thesis on Nevis and the Carl & Sons on St. Martin. Welcome all of you again. If you have not already, I'm asking you to please subscribe right there. That's it right there. Subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss anything, whether it's news, information, weather, you name it. Please subscribe to our channel. Last week, I did it on other outlets, but I did not do it on THG News Today, and I must apologize to all you wonderful, lovely ladies out there. I did not wish you a happy International Women's Day. It was my intention too, but again, it was done on our various media platforms, but it was not said actually on THG News Today. So it's not too late. We're still in the month of March, right? So we're going to celebrate March, Women's Month. And of course, later on this month, we're going to do it in two segments where we'll be recognizing and featuring 50 women across the islands. 50 women across the islands, not just St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, Antigua, Anguilla, Barbados, Dominica, you name it. 50 women we'll recognize in two special segments. Right here, we're going to have part one, and then we're going to have part two on THG Network, this YouTube channel. And I promise you, it will be great. Women from all walks of life, young women, older women, you name it, from all walks of life. So that will be something that I know most of you would want to look forward to. Now, we are following the situation in Haiti. It's a very sad and devastating situation. And I know that yesterday in Jamaica, the CARICOM heads of government, they had an emergency meeting. Some CARICOM leaders, they could not make the meeting in person. They had that meeting on Zoom call. And so we're still waiting for more information regarding that meeting. We know that the U.S. Secretary of State Blinken, he was at that meeting yesterday in Jamaica. So we'll have more on that in our next report here on THG News Today. But in the meantime, let us join our colleagues at CBN News, where they will show you now what's happening on the ground in Haiti. Take it away.
Caribbean leaders have called an emergency meeting today with the United States, Canada, and France in an effort to stop the worsening gang violence in Haiti. Armed gangs continue to launch large-scale coordinated assaults against multiple government buildings and the presidential palace after attacking prisons last week and freeing close to 5,000 inmates. This elderly woman was caught in the crossfire during a shootout between police and gangs in the capital of Port-au-Prince. She survived. Street battles between gangs and police have crippled Haiti's fragile economy, with UN officials saying more than half of the country's 11 million inhabitants don't have enough to eat and 1.5 million are starving. Canadian citizen Richard Phillips can hear gunshots from his hotel.
The country just deteriorated really quickly. The real fear is that if the police force collapses in Haiti, you become very vulnerable as a hostage, quite frankly.
The man behind it all is Haiti's most notorious gang leader, a former police officer named Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier. He says the first step is to overthrow Prime Minister Henry and then go after what he calls the corrupt oligarchs and politicians. Dr. David Vanderpool heads a ministry to Haiti. He spoke to CBN's Faith Nation from his home in the U.S.
Well, this is sort of the culmination of gangs running the country for the last 3 or 4 years. The government has collapsed. The president was assassinated in 21. The judiciary was also terminated, as well as Parliament. So there's not been an effective government in place since 2021. And the gangs have had full run of the country.
Vanderpool says only foreign military intervention will bring the chaos to an end.
We need to pray for the safety of the individuals, especially the vulnerable populations, pregnant women and children, older people. We need to pray that we're able to get food and medicine into Haiti.
The violence has caused thousands of Haitians to cross into the neighboring Dominican Republic, and it could drive a new surge of migrants toward the U.S. border. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Sad situation there, just sad. And I also want to remind you, before we continue with our next news item, that all small and large businesses, this is the way now you can shine. All small and large businesses out there across the Caribbean islands, we have this segment now on THG News Today, THG Network, that we call Spotlight. In the event you do not have a commercial already, that's okay. Or you do not want a commercial, a video commercial, that's okay. We're here, we'll just talk about your business. We'll show you images or whatever videos you have. We'll show them while I explain to the people what you offer. Yeah, we feature businesses and products as low, as little as $150. And we run that for you up to 7 days or more. And again, as little as $150. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. So no matter the business, no matter what it is, $150, and we get your information out there to the general public. So today, of course, all the Best Buy stores in Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, Cospro in Antigua and St. Martin, and Duggins Enterprises in St. Eustatius, they have a new product on the shelf. Or is it on the shelf or in the refrigerator? It's milk, so milk has to be in the refrigerator, right? The soy milk, and they have that in almond, in coconut, and in oats. Yeah? And so this is a new branded product there at Best Buy and the Cospro. And again, Best Buy stores all over in St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, and Cospro in St. Martin and Antigua. Yes, I have to call up my family members there on Nevis when I'm done here to make sure, or I'll send them this spotlight because I know they're into those kind of products. Go to Best Buy and get your soy milk and stuff, yeah? Okay, let's continue with the news this morning. We now move to news out of Dominica. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has made it clear to the Dominican Republic that there are no missing monies that are due to the people of Dominica. Skerrit's comments came when he was a guest on Kyrie FM, which was held recently. The Prime Minister responded to statements made by a faction of the United Workers' Party referring to missing billions. In a live statement via Facebook last week, President of the UWP, Lennox Linton, passionately urged the people of Dominica to come together and demanded the retrieval of funds allegedly mishandled outside of the National Treasury. He stressed the pressing need to confront this issue, underscoring the seriousness of the missing funds and the potential ramifications for the country's economic stability. According to Linton, the various crime of stealing over $6 billion. How can someone steal $6 billion from the state of Dominica is before the nation now for resolution. However, the Prime Minister rubbished these statements, noting that his government has had a sterling record of being able to account for every single dollar placed in its care and oversight. They tried to peddle, for example, this talk about missing billions, but at the same time, they're saying billions are missing. They're also citing several projects in the country which have been financed by the CBI's Citizenship by Investment program, he remarked. Skerrit continued, I want to say to Dominicans very clearly, and without any fear of contradiction, there are absolutely no missing monies that are due to the people of Dominica. Of course, there are no missing monies. I mean, I am not saying that Prime Minister Skerrit is not telling the truth. But are we going to hear Prime Minister come to the nation and said, yes, there are missing monies and I stole millions or I stole billions? Mind you, I'm not saying that he did, right? But I'm just saying, which leader is going to say, there are, yes, indeed, missing monies? Who's going to say that? Who? Let's continue. The Prime Minister added, when you speak to the World Bank, we have a 100% record of being able to account for the resources they have given to us. We are in the top class in terms of being able to account for the monies given to us. Skerrit explained that when his government came into office in 2000, that's 24 years ago, they were able to borrow from the World Bank. Because the UWP, they were unable to borrow from the World Bank. Because the UWP had gone against the procurement rules of the World Bank, and we had to repay the monies to the World Bank. And it's only then we were able to get out in the black books of the World Bank, he explained. In respect to the CBI, Skerrit said, the Dominica Labour Party is the only government in the history of this program where people can see what it's been able to do in utilizing the CBI resources. Yeah, you're right, Skerrit. It's probably the only government. You have been you have been in power so long. You have been in prime minister so long. It feels like the Dominica Labour Party is the only government there in Dominica. 24 years and counting. Yeah? Let's continue with our news. On Sunday evening, a remarkable phenomenon captivated many observers as a large beam of light suddenly emerged in the sky in the northwest. You can see it on your screen now. And of course, I'm assisted by the Daily Herald with this reporting. The unexpected sight startled numerous onlookers. Little did many know across the islands that SpaceX had concluded the weekend with a meticulously planned Falcon 9 launch from Florida. At precisely 7:05 p.m., the Falcon 9 rocket, supporting the Starlink 6-43 mission, gracefully ascended from the Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. They deployed 23 Starlink satellites into the ever-expanding low Earth orbit constellation. So I know folks in the Caribbean islands, St. Kitts, Nevis, Antigua, the Virgin Islands, St. Martin, you guys, you saw this that took place. And you know, I don't know much about the ECE space and all of that stuff, but it almost feels like they were in our, and when I say our, I'm talking about the Caribbean's ECE space. You know, like permission and all of that, and yeah, but it was a sight to behold across the islands right there in Florida. So you see how close we are? Florida sneezes or anything major happens, the islands right there. Yep. And we are congratulating the office of the Prime Minister, Honorable Gaston Brown of Antigua and Barbuda. I think yesterday and this week he's celebrating 25 years of public service as an elected member of the House of Representatives. The Prime Minister was first elected on March 9th, 1999, representing the St. John's City West constituency, and has since been successful in 5 consecutive elections. According to the Office of the Prime Minister, he is the only Prime Minister in Antigua and Barbuda's history to have won 3 consecutive elections. So we here at THG Network, we congratulate Prime Minister Gaston Brown, serving the people of Antigua and Barbuda for 25 years. And you know, when you look back at the story and the legacy of Prime Minister Gaston Brown, we can recall that he has gotten into a lot of fights for his people, if I may use such a term. Fights with Scotiabank, with the Republic Bank there, and the way he said, okay, you guys want to sell out, fine. You're not going to sell out my bank here for the people, right? When I look back a few years ago, that Sandoz paid the ABSD, that is taxes there. He was demanding to get all these millions that Sandoz owed. That was a big fight. He succeeded in that one. When it came to Liat, when all other Caribbean heads, or most Caribbean heads, they were like, no, we don't want Liat anymore. Gaston Brown, he fought hard, long and hard for that. And in a matter of weeks, Liat will be back in the air. And history, when all is judged with all of this, it will be Gaston Brown. He brought back Liat, and I'm sure this time Liat will be a success story. And I can go on and on in the many fights for his people. We may not agree sometimes in the tone or the manner in the way he'll probably fight for his people, but he gets the job done. And because of that, you have to give him maximum respect. The politics, that's for Antigua and Barbudans to battle. But I know from the outside looking in, and to see how this leader, he's always standing up to people. He's always fighting the fight. And when I say people, I'm talking about people who probably, they do not have the best interests of Antigua and Barbuda at heart. Gaston Brown, the fighter. And that's how we'll remember him and moving forward. So congratulations again to the Honorable Prime Minister on 25 years of service. And finally, in our news this morning, the gendarme, that's the police there on the French St. Martin, according to Bibi Shaw's St. Martin's News, they have confirmed that they arrested the leader of the ECE Political Party registered in Dutch St. Martin. However, the gendarme made clear that Wigley is a French national who is the president of ECE Association, that has been registered in France. Wigley was arrested on Wednesday night. And Wigley, he participated, for those of you who may not know, he participated in the recently held elections there in Dutch St. Martin. That's on January the 11th as a one-man party. And surprisingly, he got, I believe it's a couple hundred votes, 200 and something if I may recall. So he almost got a seat. And so he was arrested of allegations, according to the gendarme report, of attempted murder and also setting a fire in Happy Bay. The arrest came after Wigley made a video condemning the activities of persons responsible for the St. Martin Festival. On Saturday evening, Wigley was released from detention. He has since been making several videos explaining the reasons for his arrest and condemning the actions of the gendarme. So that's from his side right there. So we'll follow this developing story because he became very popular during the elections, and that's why people went out and voted for him. So we'll see what happens there on St. Martin. Well, folks, that's it for our news for this morning. Remember, if you have not already, to please subscribe, as I mentioned earlier. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can keep going and waking up every morning just to provide you news and information to and for you. Okay? The news, of course, is brought to you with the kind sponsorship of Carl & Sons on St. Martin and Feezers. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Nevis, satisfy your sweet tooth at Feezers, the cozy spot in Charlestown, known for its mouth-watering ice cream and dal parade. We are open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in and sample our patties, sandwiches, air-fried wings with fries, hot dogs, rotis, and now our famous smoothies, in all flavors, of course. And don't forget to try the famous bus-up shut and saltfish. It's Feezers, located at the entrance to the Cotton Jewelry Mall in Charlestown, Nevis. They're also available by phone, so place your order by calling 1-869-665-2458. Don't ask about the rest, just try the best. Carl & Sons have been serving the people of St. Martin for over 40 years, and the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Carl & Sons for simply the best. There are two locations, Colbay and on the Pondville. In Colbay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Pondville, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Carl & Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Colbay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Carl & Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you.